Hi, welcome to today's show and share on the Sip and Spin. I'm really excited. I'm entering the world of e-spinners. This is not something I ever thought I would do. I'm very much a traditionalist. I like my wheels. I like the action of treadling. But one of the things that I've really struggled with is spinning cotton. And I can spin cotton on my wheels, but I wondered if an e-spinner would give me just a little bit more control over what I do. Traditionally, when you spin cotton, you do a long draw, you put in a little bit of twist, you work through it, even it out, and then spin it onto the bobbin. So it's a multi-step process. And my curiosity is whether or not an e-spinner would let me spin back and forth across the top like how I typically do with rovings and things like that. So when Dreaming Robots said that they were opening up another line of their mini spinners and they were going to be available, I jumped on it and I just got my electric eel wheel mini in the mail yesterday, and I wanted to talk about it just a little bit. I'll plug it in and get it going. So what comes in the box? So in the box you get some great stuff. You of course get your spinning wheel, you get the power cord, and you get a couple bobbins. And the bobbins are adorable. Just say this. It's a simple little wheel. Please keep that in mind with this. It's a simple construction, and that's what it's designed in order to keep it affordable. Some of the cool other perks that you can get an AC adapter, which I went ahead and got so I can spin at work with it plugged into my computer. Here's the really cool thing. You get a spin control card, so you know what your Z-twist and your S-twist degree of spin is. This is really, really a handy little card to have. And then on the back is your size gauge, so how thin or thick your yarn is. Again, a really handy little bonus that I wasn't expecting. You, of course, get their business card and information on how to get started, but this is pretty intuitive. I haven't gone on the website yet. You also get a file to smooth off rough edges, which I really appreciated, and you get an extra drive band. In the reviews that I read, this is the thing that wears out faster than the motor, so that's good to know. So I started playing with it yesterday, and I spun up a little bit of fiber that I had blended on my blending board. That's a hodgepodge of everything. And so I spun thin, I spun thick, I spun with all of these different fibers, including locks, and this little guy took it all. It handled everything. And what I was really impressed with was how easy it was to control the spin. Over on the side here is your on-off switch. The only thing that I had to get used to was the fact that to turn it off, you have to turn it towards you. To turn it on, you turn it away from you. For some reason, that didn't seem intuitive to me, but I picked that up very quickly. So you have your tension right here, which you can adjust. It is a little bit harder to adjust your tension while it's going, but I was able to do it. You've got your leaders. I put one on both sides just in case, depending upon which direction I want to go. And as you can see, I've already got some cotton started on here, and I'll demonstrate that in a minute. Oh, and then of course your orifice hook, and I've already added my embellishment because this is not going to stay plain for very long. I'm going to have to decorate it in some way just because plain wheel I can't handle. So let's start spinning. Oh, one of the things I forgot, because this is such a cute little wheel, I thought a project bag from Flipped Stitch Studios would be good. So my project bag for my little e-spinner is, of course, Winnie the Pooh. And this is a wonderful little bag. It holds everything, compact, keeps it safe. So let's go ahead and get started. I wanted to show my first attempt at spinning cotton. It's always a good idea, and I encourage everybody to keep your first spins, regardless of how horrible it is or how obnoxious it is. It's really important to be able to go back and look at those first spins because it's a great way to see your growth and to see how much you've changed. So This is my first cotton spin. It was natural cotton, undyed. It was picked it up online a long time ago, and as you can see, there's under twist, there's over twist, plied together. There's a couple spots in here that I've actually tied it together and knotted it because it was breaking and falling apart. So this hot mess is my first attempt at cotton. Now, when you look at what I did on my little eel yesterday, you can see I'm getting much more consistent. Again, I still have some thick and thin spots in here, and again, that's a little bit of a learning curve. So I'm going to go ahead and get started spinning on this and showing you how this little guy runs when it's turned on. Probably one of the biggest pet peeves with this wheel is the noise. And yeah, it's going to have a sound to it, and there's just not a way for you to get around that. I realized once I got in and got started on it, it just became background noise, especially when I had the TV set going. When I took it outside with the ambient noise around me outside in my area, it really wasn't noticeable at all. And this is a travel spinning wheel. This is certainly something that you can take anywhere with you. Now, you're probably not going to be able to use it in a meeting or someplace where it needs to be a little bit more quiet because of the noise. But as I said, it's a simple little wheel. Everything you see, the packaging that I got was less than $100, and you just can't find electric wheels for under $100 that work as well as this little guy does. I did add a couple things. I do have a pad underneath it just to help a little bit with noise, and then I wove this, and so I've got this in, and that's going to help when I travel with it as well, just to keep it a little bit safer and a little bit more secure. So here we go. I have a chunk of cotton that I've had laying around forever. You can see I've still got some mistakes in it, which I'm just going to spin through because why not? So the thing you have to remember with cotton, because it has such a short staple length, you want to over twist it. If you don't put a ton of twist in there, cotton is just going to fall apart on you. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that people make when they start spinning cotton, is they don't put enough twist in it. The e-spinner is lovely because it puts just the right amount of twist in it. And I really feel like I have a lot of control. I don't feel like it's being pulled out of my hands at all. And I can change the speed. I want it to go a little bit slower, so I've got a little bit more control. I can do that. That just seems awkward. Oops. And I'm still learning, but that's okay. Just take it back out. Oh, the other thing that I like about this, with this little guy, you can just kind of clip it in underneath there, which I found really handy, especially when I'm spinning this fine. All right. And again, I didn't have enough twist in there, so just a little bit. And there you go. So that is the cotton that I have spun. Nice, even. The clip slides down pretty effortlessly. It's nice. I know some people have talked about with the bigger ones of these getting the woolly winder on there. It's also, I've heard great things about it, but again, it's not something that I think I'll probably ever invest in, because forcing myself to stop and actually move this does a couple things for me. One, it makes me take breaks, which otherwise I would spin for hours. And two, it reminds me to keep an eye on the yarn that I'm spinning, so I can check consistency and things like that. So there you go. There is my show and share for the Dreaming Robots electric eel wheel mini spinner. I highly recommend it. I think it is a great little wheel. It's got a lot of versatility to it. I'm really looking forward to Spinzilla this year, because this little guy is going to come with me to school, and I'm absolutely going to be spinning on my little mini during my lunch breaks at school this year. So I'm pretty excited about it. And if you have the opportunity to pick one of these little guys up, I would highly recommend it.